My name's John Schuman and I'm the singer and the songwriter responsible for I Was Only 19.
Mum and Dad and Denny saw the passing out parade at Puckapunyal. It was a long march from Cadets. And the 6th Battalion was the next to tour. It was me who drew the card. We did Canungra, Shoalwater before we left. Townsville, 9 the footpaths as we marched down to the quay. This clipping from the papers shows us young and strong and clean. There's me and me slouch hat with me SLR and greens. God help me, I was only 19.
My brother-in-law Mick Storen, whose story I Was Only 19 is, went to Vietnam as a young Australian. He actually volunteered. He joined up as a regular soldier, and he not worked hard to get to Vietnam, but after the passing out parade at Puckapunyal, the sergeant said, look, there are 5 or 6 places in the 6th Battalion. 6th Battalion was the next battalion to go to Vietnam. There are 5 or 6 places. If you'd like to come, meet me in the mess after dinner and we'll draw cards. So it really was drawing a card, and he pulled a card and got the position. I remember he told me after the first contact, he said that he was with one of his other mates, after it was all over, and they just looked at each other and said, listen, our job is to get home alive. The boys' own adventure evaporated and they were left with the stark reality of a guerrilla war in a foreign land, in an alien landscape.
Frankie kicked a mine the day that mankind kicked the moon. God help me.
It might have been Frankie, it might have been somebody else in the platoon. He just turned around and said, look, here's the deal, no heroics, no king, no country, we're just going to do what we do, look after each other, and we're getting home in one piece. That's the mission. And I went, yeah. And that was after their first contact.
See Frankie drinking tinnies in the Grand Hotel.
I realise more so now than I did then what an act of courage it was for him to come out and tell me his no-holds-barred story. Because in those days, Vietnam veterans kept themselves and their Vietnam experiences very much to themselves, because, as I said, they weren't returned heroes. They were in some areas, and quite unfairly and quite unjustifiably, they were looked down upon or despised or whatever because of their participation in that war, which in my view then and now was massively, massively unfair and very, very un-Australian.
Can you tell me, doctor, why I still can't get to sleep?
Whenever you're feeling, a bit down or, life's a bit tough or whatever, suddenly out of nowhere will come a letter or a phone call or a parcel or something. Somebody will come up in the street and say, listen mate, you don't know who I am, but I know who you are. I just want to say thank you. And that's very, very moving, and you don't take that stuff lightly.
The Vietnam War, a retrospective, all this month on the History Channel.